Tracking further updates coming in from Europe. We're now learning that the European Union has held the 9th edition of its Day of Dialogue today in close coordination with the Syrian civil society and the Syrian transitional government. The event had taken place 8 times previously in Belgium's Brussels, but for its 2025 edition, the EU chose the capital city of Syria, that is Damascus. Operating within the framework of a Brussels conference, the event essentially reflects EU's long-standing commitment to support the Syrian people. This year's edition particularly focuses on giving a key platform to the civil society organizations of Syria, allowing them to share their perspective and experiences. Now, according to the program, at the EU, 300 organizations have participated in the event, further emboldening EU's plan to ensure that help for Syria's transition is inclusive and all-encompassing. Listen in to what some of the senior-most officials from both EU and Syria have stated.
Welcome the commitments of the transitional authorities towards a peaceful and inclusive transition, as well as the number of positive steps already taken, such as the signing of the Constitutional Declaration and the initial formation of the People's Assembly.
وفي ظل سوريا الجديدة فإننا لا نرى المجتمع المدني الحيوي منافسا لنا أو خصما مباشرا، والمشاركة التكاملية لا غنى عنها.
مقدمة لخطة الاتحاد الأوروبي بالعمل على مساعدة السوريين ليكونوا قادرين ينجزوا بهذه القضايا اللي هي مثلا العدالة الانتقالية، مشاركة الشباب.
In other news, the Democratic Republic of Congo and the M23 rebel group has signed a framework agreement in Doha aimed at ending months of fighting in eastern Congo. Now, the Doha framework for a comprehensive peace agreement was finalized in a ceremony attended by officials from both sides as well as representatives from Qatar and the United States of America. M23, which has been backed by neighboring Rwanda, seized Goma in January and expanded control across North Kivu and South Kivu provinces, sparking a humanitarian crisis that has killed thousands and displaced hundreds of thousands. Qatar and the US and the African Union have all been mediating months of talks to bring lasting peace to the mineral-rich region. Now, this latest agreement follows previous ceasefire deals, including a July 2025 framework in Doha and a separate Congolese-Rwandan agreement signed in Washington in June. Despite prior agreements, violations were reported on both sides, prompting renewed diplomatic efforts. Qatar's chief negotiator, Mohammed Al-Khulaifi, has described the new pact as historic and has emphasized continued mediation to implement peace on the ground. Stay with us on the broadcast is Dr. Satoru Naga. We've been tracking what's taking place in Congo for quite a while now. What we've seen is basically the realization of the effort by Doha, by Washington, by the African Union to get DR Congo and M23 to now sign a peace agreement. But we do know that the M23 for a long period of time has been backed by Rwanda. In this context, can we expect this agreement to now hold, or could there still be some sporadic incidents of violence in Kivu?
There is a possibility that it is a very important step to end this battle because for a long time there is a committed war. But at the same time, in case of the M23, they need support from Rwanda. But Rwanda and the Congo has already agreed to end this hostility. So that's why for M23, they need to end this battle as soon as possible. Even if they are expanding the territory and the war itself is they are winning in some area, but even if such kind of situation, this is a better timing for them to end this. But at the same time, the problem is the Congo government side. The Congo government side, for a long time, they declined to negotiate the M23. So because of the recent situation, which is the intervention of President Trump, That's why they agree with Rwanda and they agree with M23. It has really happened. But at the same time, the view from the president of the Congo, the area the M23 occupied, which is a wider area of the Congo, is their area, so they do not want to give this to the rebel group M23. So that's why they agree just now, of course, just now it will end, but in the long run, there is a complaint in the Congo governmental side. And so if there is no strong pressure from the United States, there is a possibility the war will restart in this place.
Indeed, and I also wanted to understand from you, considering the fact that both North and South Kivu are very mineral rich, how is that sort of played into the economics of this particular conflict? How is that sort of exacerbated what we've seen on the ground as far as the scale of this conflict is concerned?
Of course, main reason of this battle is how to take this resource-rich, mineral-rich region or mine itself. But these are the very important area. So that's why in the peacetime, of course, they will create more sustained infrastructure and it will export more faster. But at the same time, even in the war situation, still they are digging and exporting. So that's why these minerals are a vital part. And so that's why both sides of this battle believe all of these resources are their own resources. So that's why even if the ceasefire agreement has happened, if they get the chance to take these resource mines from other side,
will it be very late because I have another
yeah.
show?
Absolutely. So with that, I'd like to thank you for taking our time, of course,